Hey friends, listen very carefully. What I'm about to tell you could mean real cash, $600 to $2,400 directly into your pocket. But there's a big catch. If you skip this video, you'll miss the one detail at the very end that could decide whether you ever see a single dollar from this plan. So stay with me until the last second. Now let's break this down. Just last month, Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri introduced a bill called the American Worker Rebate Act. This isn't just talk. It's a proposal that could impact millions of American families. The idea is simple. Money collected from tariffs, those taxes on goods coming into the U.S., would no longer just sit in Washington. Instead, it could come straight back to you in the form of rebate checks. For individuals, that's $600. For families with dependents, it could add up fast, $2,400 or even more. Imagine a family of 4 getting that kind of relief. But before you get too excited, remember, there are rules, income limits, and political battles standing in the way. I'll explain those in a moment. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Tariffs on imports have been collecting record-breaking amounts of money. Just this July, the U.S. Treasury pulled in nearly $28 billion in a single month. In total, tariff revenues could cross $500 billion a year. That's a mountain of cash, and here's where Donald Trump comes in. Trump has long pushed this idea, using tariff money as a kind of dividend for Americans. Back then, it was just talk. But now, with Hawley's bill, this idea actually has a chance to become law. And yes, I'll reveal at the end exactly what Trump said recently about these checks, so don't go anywhere. So how would this really work? Under the current plan, each adult and child in a household could get $600. That means a family of 4 would get $2,400. But like past stimulus checks, high earners would see smaller amounts, or nothing at all. If you're making over $75,000 as an individual or $150,000 as a family, the rebate would shrink or disappear. Now here's the big challenge. This bill has not passed yet. It needs support in both the Senate and the House, and we all know that's not easy. In the Senate, big bills usually need 60 votes. That means Hawley has to convince not just Republicans, but also Democrats. With the Senate on break until September, the real fight hasn't even started. But here's the urgency. If this gains momentum, you want to know whether you qualify, how much you'd get, and when you might see the money. That's why you can't skip, because at the end, I'll give you the exact scenario where this could either land in your bank account or disappear completely. Let's also be real about the criticism. Some experts argue this plan is like giving money back that you already lost. Why? Because tariffs make goods like clothes, electronics, even groceries more expensive. You've already paid more at the store, and now the government says, here's a refund. But for families struggling with bills, even a partial refund could make a huge difference, and this isn't like the pandemic stimulus checks. Those were emergency measures to boost the economy. This is different. It's tied directly to tariff revenue, which means the government isn't borrowing money or adding to the national debt. That's a huge political selling point. Now let's talk numbers again. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent recently said tariff revenues could eventually reach $1 trillion. Imagine, if even a slice of that came back to households, the impact would be massive. But here's the reality check. Many Democrats don't want to back a plan tied so closely to Trump's policies. And some Republicans would rather use that money to pay down debt instead of mailing checks. This tug of war will decide everything. So where does Trump stand now? Recently, he doubled down, saying there's so much money flowing in from tariffs that a dividend for the people makes total sense. He said directly that while paying debt is important, sending cash back to families could be even more powerful. And here's the key. If this bill gets even partial bipartisan support, families could see $600 to $2,400 checks in their accounts. But if not, the money stays in Washington, and everyday Americans see nothing. That's why you cannot miss updates on this. Because one small detail could make the difference between you cashing a check or being left out completely. So let me ask you, do you think this is fair relief or just Washington playing politics again? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and remember, this debate is just getting started.